After facing backlash from India for failing to address the issue of Sikh separatists and terrorists, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau denied the allegations of being soft on terrorism and said that Canada has always taken serious action against terrorism and will continue to do so. In the past couple of months, 3 major anti-India incidents involving Sikh separatists have been reported. Justin Trudeau's statement comes after India summoned the Canadian High Commissioner in New Delhi over propaganda material, including posters containing threats to Indian diplomats being circulated in Canada and served a démarche to the Justin Trudeau government. India also accused Canada of misusing freedom of expression to advocate violence and support terrorism. Emmanuel Bonne, diplomatic advisor to French President Emmanuel Macron, held in-depth talks with National Security AdvisorAjit Doval to prepare for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to France, scheduled to take place next week. He also said that this visit is expected to strengthen defense cooperation, trade ties and bilateral relations of both nations. At the invitation of French President Emmanuel Macron, PM Modi will be the guest of honor on France's National Day on July 14th. The Indian Institute of Technology will establish its first ever campus outside India in Zanzibar of Tanzania. The Memorandum of Understanding for setting up of IIT Madras was signed between the Ministry of Education, Government of India, IIT Madras and the Ministry of Education and Vocational Training, Zanzibar, Tanzania, in the presence of India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who is on a 4-day official visit to Tanzania to hold high-level talks and co-chair the 10th Joint Commission meeting with his counterpart. Jaishankar emphasized that this significant step highlights India's commitment to the Global South. Kurt Campbell, the US National Security Council's coordinator for Indo-Pacific Affairs, stated that India is among one of the most sought-after players on the global stage and the United States has taken its own steps to develop much further the relations between the two countries. He also termed PM Narendra Modi's recent state visit to the US as absolutely historical. The United States has urged a court in California to deny 2611 accused Tahavur Rana's habeas corpus petition against the extradition to India, reiterating that he should be extradited to India, where he is wanted for his involvement in the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. In May this year, a US court had approved the extradition of Rana, a 62-year-old Canadian businessman of Pakistani origin, to India. Rana is currently in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles. In a grim turn of events, the United States Independence Day was marred by a wave of gun violence and bloodshed. The Gun Violence Archive reported at least 16 mass shootings across the nation from Friday evening to Wednesday morning, leaving 15 dead and 94 injured. These tragic incidents spanned across 13 states, including Texas, Washington, D.C., and Illinois. The spate of shootings forced President Joe Biden to confront this alarming situation, urgently calling on Congress to enact stricter gun control measures. At least 16 individuals, including 3 children, lost their lives in a toxic gas leak at the Angelo informal settlement in Boksburg, a city on the outskirts of Johannesburg. The incident is likely linked to illegal mining activities that have become very common in South Africa, especially in Johannesburg's disused gold mines. Emergency services and rescue teams are reportedly working throughout the area to determine the full extent of the casualties. Just a day after schools were reopened in Manipur amid ongoing ethnic conflict, a woman was allegedly shot dead by unknown criminals outside a school in Imphal West. The investigation is currently underway to identify and apprehend the culprits. In another incident of violence, the house of an Indian Reserve Battalion personnel was set ablaze by a mob in the Taubal district after he foiled the attempts of rioters to loot firearms from the police armory. With no signs of violence dying down, the state government has further suspended the internet services for another 5 days. More than 70,000 pilgrims have visited Amarnath cave shrine since the beginning of the yatra on July 1st. A record number of 18,354 pilgrims performed darshan, including 12,483 males, 5,146 females, and 457 children, 266 sadhus and 2 sadhvis. Pilgrims are being assisted during their entire journey by state agencies and civil departments by making all the essentials and facilities available to devotees. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan met the tribal labor Dashmesh Rawat, on whom a man had urinated. CM Chauhan washed his feet as a mark of respect. Chauhan also apologized to the laborer for the incident. Pravesh Shukla, who was filmed urinating on the labour, was arrested and charged under the National Security Act. Earlier, the Chief Minister had assured strict punishment for the accused and said that he would not be spared. The Indian Space Research Organisation announced that the Chandrayaan-3 mission will launch to the moon on July 14th. The spacecraft will lift off from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota at 2:35 p.m. ISRO announced after transporting the spacecraft encapsulated aboard the rocket to the launch pad. Chandrayaan-3 is the third installment of the Chandrayaan series and is India's second attempt to achieve a soft landing on the moon's surface.